This is Bharat FM.
बजेगा भारत, झूमेगा भारत.
ये है भारत FM.
बजेगा भारत, झूमेगा भारत.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, welcome and adab. You are listening to Bharat FM, a one-of-its-kind, multilingual, eclectic provider of entertainment, information and news to Indian Americans. Headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, Bharat FM airs shows out of Cincinnati, Chicago and Phoenix. We take pleasure in our ability to cater to your bhakti, chusti, sfurti, shakti and masti needs with our audio and visual shows. Check out bharatfm.com for our online program schedule and archives. I'm sure the content will definitely tickle your senses. Tune in via the 24-hour web streaming on bharatfm.com or via the Bharat FM app. More information can be procured at 513-488-5070.
दोस्तों नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल, वड़क्कम, वेलकम. आप सभी का भारत एफएम के इस कार्यक्रम में जिसका के नाम है रूबरू में तहे दिल से स्वागत है. मैं हूं आपका दोस्त और आपका होस्ट आशीष झा. और आज हमारा ये कार्यक्रम जो है रूबरू का वो थोड़ा अलग है. और वो अलग इसलिए है क्योंकि जैसे आपने अभी अभी हमारा जिंगल सुना, जो पहला वाला जिंगल था वो जो बेसिक बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत, और उसके बाद में आपने दूसरा जिंगल सुना. उस जिंगल में जिसकी आवाज है, जो भारत एफएम की आवाज है, वो है नयनतारा रे. और आज हम उनसे रूबरू होने वाले हैं. अ लवर ऑफ लाइफ एंड म्यूजिक, वन हु हैज अ सॉन्ग फॉर एवरी सिचुएशन इन लाइफ. Nayantara has a career as an IT professional, but RJing is her life source. Her love for films and drama has always rewarded her in many ways. Bharat FM being the most recent case in point. So with that, I would like to welcome Nayantara. Hello, Nayantara.
Hello. It's awesome to be on the other side of the camera, you know. I've done the RJing, I've done the interviewing, and I don't know which is more scary, to be honest.
We will know after an hour. We will know everything about you. I'll make sure that everybody knows everything about you.
Oh my God, that's scary. I'm already scared, so don't scare me more.
You will be fine. You will be fine. So Nayantara, as you know, I mean, tell me first one thing. Do you prefer being called Nayantara, NT, Naina, what do you prefer being called?
You already know the answer to that. I mean, for this program, I think let's go with Nayantara. Otherwise, I've been called NT, I've been called Nayan, I've been called Tara. So Naina, actually a lot of my friends call me Naina.
Exactly. Right. Okay, I'll go with Nayantara then. So Nayantara, as you know, the theme or the flow of our program, Rubaru, is basically your life journey. How you started, where you started, and everything that has happened, good, bad, with you to make you the person that you are today. Okay? So to start with, tell us a little bit about where were you born and what was your childhood like?
So I was actually born in a small town, Jamshedpur, which is close to, was in Bihar, is now in Jharkhand. It's about 4 hours from Calcutta. And I would like to say that it is the best place to grow up ever, because it's a small town, it's a steel city, because as you know, Jamshedpur, Tata Nagar is the house of the Tatas. So, you know, it was just an idyllic childhood that we had. And the beauty of small towns is that it's like a mini India. So you get all flavors, because so many people from all over India converge in those small cities. So it's just a wonderful feeling and a wonderful experience. So I am the elder daughter. I have a sister. My mom was a teacher, and then she was a principal. and my dad was working in telco. And the best part about my childhood is that I lived in telco. So we were in a nuclear family setup, but my grandparents were very close by, like in Jamshedpur itself. So I got the best of both worlds, kind of. Whenever I had to complain about my parents, that the grandparents were there.
Okay.
So whenever I had bad grades, I would go to them first, to my grandparents' house, and then stay there until the storm passed.
So you said bad grades. Let's move to your schooling. So did you do all your schooling in Jamshedpur all the way up to like 10th grade?
Yes, so I did my schooling in Jamshedpur Sacred Heart Convent School, and then Loyola School for 2 years. I did my +2 there, and then I moved to Delhi. That's where I did my bachelor's and my
Okay.
master's in Delhi.
We will get to your bachelor's and master's. Let's focus on your school first, okay?
Okay.
So as a child, as a kid, what kind of kid were you? Like I can see that you were naughty for sure.
Yeah, I was not a studious student. I mean, my parents were really, they were like, oh my God, I mean, they used to dread parent teacher meetings because they're like, what is the point? I mean, we already know that all the teachers will just say, I wish she would talk less, and, then probably there would be a chance that something would go in because I was so talkative, and that's the usual thing. But then the teachers also loved me, I think, because I was always there on stage performing and having a good time, so singing for them, so they were happy that way. So I think ho gaya manage somehow.
So as a child, growing up in school, what was your dream? I mean, I know that as a kid, kids keep changing their dreams while growing up. But what was your story like? What different dreams did you have, or was it just one?
No, I wanted to become a writer. I
Wow.
don't know
Okay.
why. I wanted to become a writer, and I was very specific. I wanted to go to Mussoorie, and I wanted to build a wooden house there.
Oh my God.
Stay there. And
So when you
I
say writer, like writing books, novels, stories?
novels,
Okay.
stories. I used to love writing stories. I used to love, and I think I get that knack from my grandfather. He was a journalist, and
Right.
he actually had a newspaper. He was the editor of a newspaper in Jamshedpur.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so
So were you focused on achieving your dream when you were growing up? So if you were interested in writing, was there any specific subject that you were fond of?
I think English, because it didn't require too much studying. So English, and uh, I you have to understand that I had parents who were great achievers. Okay, so I had high standards to live up to. So actually there was a time when I used to say, forget it, I'm never going to be their dream child. So छोड़ ही देते हैं, कोशिश भी क्या करना है type का, but then yeah, finally when I set my mind to it, I had a very finally I decided I have to go to Delhi to do my bachelor's, and I wanted to do it in psychology because Delhi had the best psychology program. So then I said, okay, अब तो करना है, अब जाना है,
So
because
बचपन का, do you remember an incidents that have stuck with you till date?
I'll tell you a few. एक तो कभी याद नहीं रहता है, तो
एक
and
से
by the
मेरा
way,
क्या होगा?
I would love to acknowledge all the comments and thank you guys, Varsha, Vijaya, Madhu, Arundhati, because she's also from Jamshedpur, Naina, Pubali, Bitan, all of them. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I've missed the previous comments. I'm sorry.
I must tell you, we have the maximum audience for Rubaru today.
Follow.
You're already a star.
Okay,
Okay,
so the story that I wanted to tell you was in fourth standard, I decided to do a piece, elocution piece. Okay, so I got shortlisted, and then I was, on stage, and it had the word Ashok ka Shastra Tyag was the name of the Ashok ka Shastra Tyag, and it was a monologue, so I was playing Ashoka and the Princess of Kaling. That was the exchange, and there was a lot of ladai, the word ladai in it. Okay, लड़ने वाले हैं, लड़ाई, and सारे लड़ने वालों, ऐसे कुछ कुछ था. Now Bengalis का एक weakness होता है, र बोलना उनके लिए थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होता है. Okay, so mostly because I was born and brought up in Jamshedpur, I did not have that. लेकिन after all, the blood कहाँ से, so कभी कभार वो slip up हो जाता था, लड़ाई हो जाता था. And my friends, so that happened in 4th standard, and believe you me, till I passed out, and even now when we meet, they will tell me, Nayan, तुम्हारा लड़ाई.
Okay.
So, I still remember that. And then there was a time when I played Kabuliwala play kiye the hum log, and usme I played Minnie. So
Okay.
Minnie is a little girl basically. So, and her exchange with Kabuliwala. So in
Okay.
that, if you remember, she wears a sari and comes, and this was when I was 5th or 6th, and the stage was huge. So I had to run from one side of the stage to the other. Okay, and I had to do that in a sari because she was playing. You know how young girls play wearing saris. That was the scene.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, he's also a theater enthusiast, so he
Okay.
really made me wear a sari and made me run across the house so many times, just so that वहाँ stage पे जाके कुछ problem नहीं हो जाए, I don't trip and fall. So that was one more thing that I remembered. And then we had a big program in our school called King and I. It was an opera, and we presented it as an opera. So we had actual live choir, and the sets were built. We did everything. So in that, I had to play a singing part. And I remember, so it was you had to sing. It was a musical, basically. So we did the singing, we did the dancing, we did the dialogues with live music and live sets. So that was an experience that I'll never forget. I mean,
So theater and music was always there in your mind. Like you always loved theater and music, right?
Always, always.
So tell me one thing now. You mentioned that you were fond of becoming a writer. At what point did that dissolve, or you decided, okay, this is not something that I want to do anymore? And why?
When I saw that it was very hard. It was a long journey.
आसान काम करना है, huh? You want to do easy stuff.
I said, no, it's too much work. So many years, don't know what's going to happen. Nah, not for me.
Okay. Was it like in 10th grade? What did you realize that, okay, this is not for me. I'm not going to do anything as far as becoming a writer is concerned. At what point did that come in your mind?
I think once I started in +2, when I started studying psychology, I really liked psychology, and I thought this is a very good field that I felt very connected to it, and I think I did pretty good in psychology.
So you had psychology in school as well?
Yes, in +2 I had taken psychology as an elective, and then that's when I decided to pursue it.
Okay. So then you completed your +2 from Jamshedpur as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. And who in your family has influenced you the most, and why?
So that's a difficult question, but I lost my dad really early. I lost him earlier.
Sorry
And my mom was actually, both of them are really good influence. I mean, they're like everything I started out doing, singing, drama, everything, they were always there. In fact, we had Antakshari competitions, one of us we are two sisters. So one of us would take the mother, one would take the dad, and we could go on the entire night. That used to be our pastime, our train journeys, our any drives, long drives. That's what we used to do. So my love for songs, my repertoire, everything actually kind of sprung from home. But then, of course, my mom has kind of been the rock in my life. She has never stopped me from doing anything I wanted. Never once has she said that, now I think you should come back closer home, because Jamshedpur to Delhi was quite a distance, it was pretty long. Train used to take us at least 16 hours or something. So, but then she was like, you've started something, finish it. Finish what you want to do, and, do the best you can, do the best you want, whatever you want to do, and then try something else or whatever it is you want. So she has been the driving force in my life.
So is your mom here today?
Yes, she is here, and I think she is here. Is she?
Yes, I see her. Is that Manjula? Is she your mom?
That's my mom.
नमस्ते आंटी.
नमस्ते.
कैसे हैं आप?
आशीष. बहुत खूब. Ashish, thank you so much. You are a powerhouse of energy. That is what I hear from Nayantara. You are really doing such a good job.
Thank you.
Giving opportunities, opening up platforms for people, aspiring artists. So I'm really very impressed. Coming back to Nayantara. Yes.
I just wanted to say that if I am a powerhouse, your daughter is powerhouse times 2.
That she is.
Yeah. So we just wanted, first of all, thank you very much for coming on Rubaru and sharing with us a little bit about Nayantara. What we want to hear from you is something that Nayantara would keep to herself as a secret. क्योंकि आपको तो सब कुछ पता होगा.
She has strict instructions, okay? So don't spoil that. I've given her strict instructions.
Well, let her talk. अच्छा आंटी बताइए.
No.
आपकी बेटी के बारे में कुछ बताइए.
No, that is what I can say. As she said, as you have heard from her, that she was, she had love for music. She loved singing. She was a stage performer. She was a stage actress and an excellent elocutionist. So that was what she was known for in her school, in her college. She made a name for herself in these fields. But when she was in the lower classes, and one thing, even as she was a child, she was very quick at making friends. And she has been successful in maintaining long-lasting friendship. So that, I think, is something which is admirable. And studies, yes, she was a little, what was her mantra in life, that if applying minimum effort, I can get maximum result, I would choose that path. As she herself admitted that she did not take the difficult path. She chose something not easy. I won't say psychology is easy. Psychology was close to her heart, as she said. And Nayantara in class 10 and Nayantara in class 12 was a very, very different two persons. Because when she came to 12, her board exams were nearing, and we were getting scared. Her father was getting scared that what will this girl do? And he had strictly laid down the very, very strict guideline that if you can, by your own merit, get into a Delhi college, because that is what you are aspiring for, then it has to be with your own effort. Nothing, you cannot expect any other help from us. And that is the time when we found her really putting her everything into those few, I think last month or so. She was so diligent that she successfully, with very good grades, she passed her class 12, and it was not very difficult for her to get into a very good college in Delhi. And what
Right.
the choice that she had and the hostel that we needed, so everything was set. So when she put her mind to it, she could do it. So that is Nayantara.
Okay. Thank
That
you
is
very
she.
much. Thank you very much, Auntie. So she is strong-headed. That we all know that she is strong-headed. एक बार
Yes,
नयनतारा ने कुछ डिसाइड कर लिया तो अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनती.
yes. And then the positive trait that I admire in her, that is the level of confidence with which she faces all kinds of adversities in life. You know, she has passed a good journey, she has completed. So the adversities in life she has faced it with a high level of confidence, and by God's good grace, she has been able to tide over them also. So
Okay.
I'm very thankful to Lord Almighty that she is blessed with a loving family, with a very supportive husband, and mature and understanding children. And I am so proud of all her achievements. As you can see, as you can feel it,
Yes.
I am extremely proud of all her achievements, whether it's professional life or it is in her personal life. She has really, so far, she has led a very successful life. And God bless her. God be with her always. I wish her all the best.
Thank you very much, Auntie, for sharing this story with us, and thank you very much once again for coming on our show and sharing
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
So,
Welcome. It's my pleasure. And there are innumerable stories that I can say about her, but then time will not permit.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Auntie.
Thank you, Ma.
All right, so let's move on to your college days. So you moved to Delhi and you started studying psychology. Okay.
Asha, one thing before you move to college, can I ask? My sister is also on the line, so can she
Oh yeah, of
come in?
course.
Then
Of
we'll be
course.
done with the family because I have a whole college story. That like a whole.
Okay. Okay, let's have your sister come in.
Okay, Yashodhara
Yashodhara. Okay.
and Arundhati. I see Arundhati
Hi,
saying that
Yashodhara.
we're to.
Hi Ashish ji, how are you? Good morning.
I'm good. I'm good. Good morning. Good morning, you too. So, so you are the one who keeps secret, which maybe your mom might also not know. So, so share something about Nayantara. I'm going to. Somebody will definitely spill the bean. Is my hope.
It's not going to be her because she's an HR. Okay, she's in human resources, so she knows when to hold up.
Okay. Okay. So Yashodhara, a little bit about Nayantara and what you like the most and why.
So, since you're asking about her secrets, um, Nayantara has always been an absolute open book. Okay, she's already told you about the tears of frustration, literally, that my parents have shed over her. कि ये लड़की जरा पढ़ाई कर लेती किधर से किधर पहुंच जाती दैट यूज्ड टू बी द काइंड ऑफ टोन ऑलवेज
आप ये सोचो बिना पढ़ाई कहां से कहां तक पहुंच गई तो फिर पढ़ाई करती तो फिर कहां कहीं और पहुंच जाती.
The
so
word, the
that is a
word,
question you don't want to ask.
the word was The worst was people stopping them on the street and telling them the same thing. Like
Oh
they
my
used to,
God.
the science teacher, the math teacher, they used to say, I feel like crying. Why she doesn't apply a little bit of why? So my mom and dad will used to say, we don't know. So they would.
Okay.
Yeah, so but she was just like that. There was nothing secretive about it. अगर वो पढ़ाई नहीं करती थी तो नहीं करती थी, and everyone knew it. छुप के कुछ नहीं करती थी. ऐसा नहीं
बेसिकली जो
कि
है
बहुत
सो है, मैं ऐसी ही हूँ.
मैं ऐसी हूँ. ज्यादा कोई बोले तो she had this favorite corner that used to be right next to the window. My mom, out of sheer frustration, called her, used to wake her up at 5 o'clock one day, that you've not studied at all. You have to get up at 5. And that was just not her. 5 baje utke, she used to sit out, near the window, look out of the window for one entire hour. कि हमको उठाया क्यों गया 5 बजे. I remember one small incident, that कुछ केमिस्ट्री का कुछ ये फॉर्मूला या केमिकल नेम्स एक्सेट्रा पढ़ना था. सो एंड शी वाज गोइंग ऑन एट इट. मन तो बिल्कुल नहीं था पढ़ने का. सो शी वाज गोइंग ऑन रीडिंग इट. माय फादर फ्रॉम द अदर रूम, ही सेड, नयनतारा, गाना होता तो यू वुड हैव पिक्ड इट अप इन 2 seconds. एक टेबल ऑफ केमिकल नेम्स तब से मैं सुन रहा हूँ. So immediately she said, "पापा एक गाना बना दो इसका." तो मैं सीख लूँगी.
Oh my God.
That is truly Nayantara. So I have never seen my parents being able to stay angry with her, and of course then she made it up with all her other achievements. She had friends in school, she had friends in college, she's made friends for life. And when she went away to college, aisa lagta tha that the life of the house has really gone out. And we were so worried. My parents were very worried ki how will she manage in Delhi, away from family, away from familiar surroundings. But oh my goodness, she settled down so well with her friends, with some of her professors. They almost adopted her. पहुंच जाती थी लंच डिनर के लिए, एंड एकेडमिक्स के अलावा बाकी सब बातें होती थी. So that was. But what she's my older sister. Most of the time, I used to be considered the more sensible one in the house. Yeah, always. But the point is, something that I hold very close to my heart is she's the wisest person that I've ever known. एकदम sorted है. दिल से सोचती है, दिमाग से सोचती है, but silently she has guided me through everything. She's really the guiding light of my life. She and of course my mom.
Maybe that is where the psychology comes into the picture, I'm assuming.
Possibly. एकदम साफ है. So I trust her more than I trust anyone in this world, even myself. And I've received many more words of advice from her than both my parents combined.
Thank
So
you.
that was her passion for music, for films, goes back for as long as I can remember. कुछ भी music, all kinds of music, और पुराने गाने, नए गाने,
Right.
but her, I think right from school days we understood that the kind of music that really calls out to her are ghazals. इतना she used to sing आज जाने की जिद ना करो so well. अभी भी कानों में गूंजती है वो सब गाने.
आज इस घंटे के अंदर एक गाना तो जरूर गवाएंगे नयनतारा से. आप दिल थाम के बैठे.
बिल्कुल.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Thank you, Yashodhara, once again for joining us and sharing the stories with us. So we
my
will continue with the
pleasure.
conversation. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. Acha, so Nayantara, so tell us, you moved to Delhi and you signed up yourself for studying psychology. How
Yeah.
was that experience and what you remember about that? How long was that, first of all? Like you were in Delhi for like 3-4 years? Or
5 years. I did my bachelor's and then I did my master's.
from the same college?
No. So college was all women's college, Indraprasth College of Delhi. That's where I did my bachelor's from, and then postgraduate college. That was in Delhi University.
That was the university. Okay.
University.
So tell us a little bit about those 5 years in Delhi. A girl coming from Jamshedpur, moving to Delhi, and,
Yeah.
and trying to study psychology. How was that experience, and what were the challenges?
It was tough. I mean, my sister said I adjusted pretty well, but there are friends who will talk right after. They will tell you how I used to go. I mean, I used to be crying all the time, and just so I wouldn't have to go back to my room, you will not believe how many. There used to be these freshers week. So I wouldn't go back to the hostel. I used to stay in the hostel naturally. So I wouldn't go back to the hostel. So the result was I signed up for every competition there was, any competition. So they used to have these rounds. They were like, okay, what's next? Let me go there. Let me go there. You know, I used to be all over the place because the very thought of going back to the room, seeing my familiar stuff from home, and oh my God, I used to start crying. And I used to actually like ragging because that would keep us busy, you know. तो बहुत ragging होती थी and रात को 2 बजे उठा के हम लोगों को दिल्ली के सर्दियों में खड़ा कर देते थे, गाना गाओ, ये करो, वो करो. So thankfully I had the easy part of it. I had
You're
to
one
sing.
of the you're one of the fewest persons who says that I used to love ragging. You used to wait for that.
Yeah, you won't believe it because you know ragging used to keep us busy. वो सोचना नहीं पड़ता था कि you know हाय अभी फिर से वही यादें वादें all that.
So other than being homesick, what were the challenges of being in Delhi?
So you know we were in a hostel, so very sheltered. बहुत ज़्यादा बाहर.
What protective environment था this?
Protective environment था. हम लोग जाते थे बाहर, of course, but we always had this unspoken thing between us that we won't go alone. तो हमेशा हम लोग tag team करते थे. We used to, you know, take care of each other. We used to, you know, even though I had a friend who would fall asleep every time she would get up in any car, तो उसको लेके जाना तो कोई बड़े मतलब ही नहीं था. शालिनी है वो, आई है अभी, she'll be talking shortly. तो वैसे भी थी, but you know, but still, all in all, it was fun. And again, that was where I think I truly explored drama, music. I mean, really did everything I wanted to do in Delhi.
So would you say that the college time was the best time of your life?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was. I just made the best. I met the best people, made friends for life, and I also think though that I did have a wonderful time also because a lot of my school friends moved with me to Delhi. So
Okay.
just because Jamshedpur, anyways, we had to move out. Either you go to Kolkata or you go to Pune or you used to go to Delhi. So a lot, and what happens is parents influence one another. So they talk in a small town, you know. अच्छा आपकी बेटी दिल्ली जा रही है, अच्छा ठीक है. So you know, so it ended up we were almost 15-20 kids from Jamshedpur who were in Delhi. Or more. I'm just talking about, you know, my college. But
So-
so that's why the fun continued.
Right. So other than extracurricular activities which you mentioned that you were part of each and every extracurricular activity going on at the college, from psychology perspective, what did you learn about psychology that basically stuck with you and basically something where you felt that, okay, I made the right choice and this is the reason I made the right choice?
You know, the easiest thing to say was psychology was such a subject मुझे पढ़ना नहीं पड़ता था. I wouldn't have to, I didn't have to kind of give it my all or anything. It just, I loved it. I loved it so much. और when you love something, you want to know about it. वो अपने आप आ जाता है. That eagerness to know why certain things are happening, or I just loved psychology. So I mean, I never regretted for a moment not coming with psychology. Why didn't I take something else? वो कभी नहीं हुआ.
कभी नहीं है. So did psychology influence you in judging people? Or
see, that's a very a lot of people think that, but I really don't think. I mean, to an extent, maybe you'd get to know why certain people behave in a certain way or react in a certain way. But I think it's also the way you are. Some people just get to know more in depth. I don't know how to say that. I mean, I've heard that from so many people. Oh, you've learned psychology. Oh, then you know how to read people. But it's not that easy.
So you mentioned that theater and music was something that you enjoyed the most, and it was during your college time that you explored the most. तो कभी एक ख्याल नहीं आया दिमाग में कि यार इस फील्ड में अब मुझे कुछ करना चाहिए?
Again, बहुत टाइम लगता. बहुत टाइम लगता, बहुत स्ट्रगल था. एंड तो वो भी एक दिमाग में था कि will I be able to sustain it that long? मेरा इंटरेस्ट जाएगा फिर. So I'd rather do something that is psychology, but I always thought कि कुछ ना कुछ साइड में करते रहना है. I mean, I would love to explore my passion, but on the side.
Okay. So after psychology, what? After you were done with your college days, then what happened? I mean, you were in final year of your masters, and did you think about a specific career path, or what was going on in your head?
Yeah, I actually signed up for MPhil. So I was moving towards doing my PhD in psychology, and I was doing organizational behavior. So
Okay.
at that time, then I thought that instead of doing MPhil, let me just do something related to that, but where I can work. And that the closest was industrial psychology, where I can use was human resources. So that's
Okay.
why I branched out into human resources. And
Okay.
that's where I started. So then I got a job in Kolkata. So that's why I left.
For job, you moved to Kolkata from Delhi. Okay. And how long were you in Calcutta?
Yeah, and that's where I was working, and then I did my MBA from Kolkata, and that's where I met Ritvik, who's my husband. So then that whole story.
So you met Ritvik while doing your MBA.
Right. And we were working full-time jobs in the morning, MBA in the evenings. That's when we met.
Okay. तो अब थोड़ा अपनी प्रेम कहानी के बारे में बताइए.
प्रेम कहानी यूजुअली बहुत बोरिंग होती है यार. फाइनली एंड हो जाता है शादी में. तो क्या है इतना
तो शादी के पहले की पूछ रहा हूँ ना, इसीलिए that is why I'm asking you.
I'd rather talk about my college days. Let me call my college friends, please.
Okay. Who do you want me to call?
So let me call Shalini.
Okay.
Shalini को थोड़ा introduce कर देते हैं. She's most recently you've seen her in Ludo playing the love interest of Pankaj Tripathi.
All right. Hi Shalini, namaste.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. Thank you very much for joining us here. So until
Thank you for
Nayantara
having
told
me.
me, I did not know that you guys are friends. So I came to know just today. So I did see Ludo, and a wonderful acting. To be able to stand in front of Pankaj Tripathi itself is a big deal, and you did a wonderful job. So
Thank you.
This was actually her second film with Pankaj Tripathi. If you've
I
watched Gurgaon, I think was the first film, right, Shalini?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming that during your college days, you two were always on the stage doing something or the other with either theater or music. Am I right?
Absolutely, I mean, absolutely. And as I was listening to Auntie and to Yashodhara, I mean, I just was thinking that I had a similar childhood track. And
I
no
see.
wonder we clicked the way we clicked in college. And I mean, I joined the hostel a little late, but Nayantara was, I still remember, I mean, her warmth and her inclusiveness, and she was very all embracing. I was not a person, for someone to befriend me is a little bit of an effort. And true, no, I'm not easy to befriend. So
Okay.
I think that, and I mean, she was doing everything as she said about her Freshers Week, and she was participating. And you were Miss Freshers, right? You
Yeah.
got the title because she was doing so well. And about Nayantara, so she was not just doing things; she was very talented. I mean, she is very talented. So she was doing very well in all these things, because
Okay.
Delhi University competitions and all that, they do have a certain standard. So she was doing very well at in all these things. And one that she was, I really, now when I look back at hindsight, she was very easy in her participation. It was fun, it was joy which would drive her. She just enjoyed that so much. There was no fuss of, I'm going to participate and so much of hard work and all. No, it was just so easy, and it came very easily to her, very effortlessly to her. And apart from, I mean, as a person, I was thinking, when you have these moments and you sit back and you reflect, very exceptionally talented, very bright, sharp mind, and very, very thoughtful about people. Very thoughtful, like one of the most thoughtful friendships that I have developed in life.
Mhm.
I remember I was sharing this with her that when we left college, she and another friend, Aparajita, they had made this. We used to have those tapes, cassettes, and they had recorded our songs and given it. And
Wow.
little things, and that is an effort which I wouldn't have been
Yes.
able to do. I didn't do it. So, and music, of course, it was like in her veins. I remember we had a college farewell, and they ask these questions, and then you have to give those answers. And I was in the audience, and there was a question that some artist has come and he's acting smart with you.
No, 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 Shalini. This was for Miss IP when we were leaving college. So Miss Fresher
Yes,
when we
farewell.
were Miss
Yeah. This was
when they
farewell.
had to choose Miss IP, and
Miss
then
IP, right?
they were asking those
And there
questions.
was this, yes, this was Miss IP, right? So I was sitting in the audience watching. So Nayantara went on stage, and the question asked was, suppose someone has come to college and you're a volunteer and he acts smart. These are like questions. So Nayantara, without a batting an eyelid, she just broke into a song. Uh,
Oh, wow.
शीशा देखिए हुजूर
No,
दिल ना हमको दीजिए अपनी.
they said that there was a Spickmacky artist. So Spickmacky artists are very revered, They come and give lecture demonstrations. So they said if a Spickmacky artist comes and you are not able to say anything because he is performing, he's like a world class artist. And he kind of gives you a little bit of a weird, some kind of an untoward gesture. So how will you manage the situation? You can't say, hey, because he's performing, how will you manage the situation? So then I said, I'm just going to say, शीशा देखिए हुजूर हाथ ना हमको दीजिए अपनी शक्ल देख कर तौबा तौबा कीजिए.
Oh,
Oh
I
wow.
just
my God, there was an uproar. And I, having known her, like being close to her and, hearing her sing all the time, I was so impressed in that moment with her sharpness, with her wit, with her talent. And, So a lot of us are talented, but Nayantara is special there because she was very giving with her talent, very sharing with her talent, and also she was the Music Society president. And what I really remember very warmly, and even now, that she was encouraging each one of us to sing.
Well, 1 minute, 1 minute. Can I just ask to let Aprajita and Rashi also in, because
Please,
Yes,
we were all part of the same group.
please.
Right?
Yes, yes.
yes, I will add them. Prajita and Rashi, yes, there.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
Prajita. Hello, Rashi. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
Prajita and Rashi also from the same college life or school
Yes.
life or both?
Yes, so Rashi is from my school when we ended up in college together. So we were together the whole time in school and then in college. And then
Uh-huh.
Shalini and Aparajita I met in college.
Uh-huh.
Aparajita, who I call Appu, she was my roommate actually. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, whoever wants to go first, whether it's Aprajita or Rashi, tell us a little bit about your memories. Rashi, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Uh,
are all itching. So Nayan, you can pick. Who do you want first?
Hey, but let Rashi go, otherwise she'll burst. Let Rashi go.
okay,
I
Rashi,
know,
go
I
first.
know, I know. Thank you, Ashish. And this was wonderful that, so I hold this medal of pride that I know the most about Nayantara.
Oh,
So, but there
wow.
was still, yeah, because I think I've had the longest journey with her from school till our MA in IP. And we've lived through all of those developmental stages together, from school to cheating to bunking to college to boyfriends to psychology to everything together till she moved to Calcutta. We have been together. We are still extremely connected, and for the reason that Shalini just stated, that her warmth and ability to have long friendships and all of that. So just one thing that with Nayan, I learned all the good things. She made me sing, made me dance, made me do everything, and got my whole senses awakened to music. It's completely because of her. I had no idea what theater was, what music was, so completely on her. And I taught her all the bad things in life. You just asked her why she did not pursue psychology. So I take the credit for that, Ashish. We, poor girl, she did try to appear for tests. We came to Bombay to give her exam, and throughout the exam, I kept nudging her, "Nahin, jaldi kar, Bombay घूमने जाना है." And I did not let her study. I did not let her appear. I made her end her paper like really fast. I made sure we do not compete in that. Instead, we did our Bombay Yatra, our first flight of freedom in the rain. So that is the kind of influence. Like I say, all good things to me happened because of her, and all the wrong steps in life she took because of me. So that is
But
our
but
connection.
would you agree? Would you agree that breaking rules is what always stays in your head all the time?
Yes, always. And when people were talking about Nantara not studying, I think we don't even remember because she was always the most popular. In school, she was the most popular. In college, in every stage of life, she's always been the most popular, most loved, most talented, most coveted. So that she did not study well, I don't even think we recall. So that is
Thank,
from me
thank you,
as a
Rashi. Thank
starter.
you very much for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Aprajita, your turn.
So she hides her intelligence very cleverly and she carries her talent very lightly. So I must tell you, after graduation, she cleared clinical psychology in the most prestigious institute in Delhi. But Nayantara being Nayantara, she always prioritizes friendship and warmth and being together. So if she had joined that course, the best course in the country, let me tell you, in clinical psychology, she'd have to shift hostel and be alone. And the rest of us were in North Delhi, in Delhi University. So what does a normal person do? The normal person would be like, I have my friends in the same city. I can definitely go to South Delhi and we can stay in touch. We can meet. But what does Nayantara do? She decides she decides to forgo the course and she stays in Delhi University with us, North Delhi, and she chooses to then do MA in Delhi University, North Delhi. She just She easily, and all of us, are trying to be like, Nayan, please. How can I was aghast, because I'm
Yeah,
ambitious.
Aprajita is the voice of reason always. She has always been that. I mean, Shalini and me, we used to go. I used to tell her, I'm not going to South Delhi alone. You have to come with me. And Aprajita used to be like, you have to let her go alone. She needs to learn to go alone. And then after that, I used to go and tell Shalini, forget it. You're still coming with me.
And Nayan must be the first person to be crying because she's got through the best school. So this is how it was. And I was aghast, and I being ambitious and, I'm being like, you have to do things right. I just couldn't figure out these guys, both Rashi and, Shalini.
Rashi, poor thing, was crying because she didn't get through. And I was also crying because she didn't get
I'm
through. Because
telling you, she's the influence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The second thing that I learned from
we could have gone there together, but she didn't get through, so I had to drop also. So I dropped.
I proved my point. See?
Yeah.
The thing
So there are a
second
lot
thing.
of things. Let me just condense it. The second thing was she was such a warm person, and I was like very reserved and very like the voice. Like I'm a lawyer, and she's an artist, so you can understand the difference.
She's a Supreme Court lawyer, okay?
Oh wow. Okay.
So basically, Nayantara was the one who taught me how to express my feelings, how to be warm, how not to be so cold. Like I was an introvert, so Nayantara taught all those things, and Nayantara could cry at the drop of a hat. So after our graduation, we went around looking for houses because that was the interim period when you needed to stay on your own. So so what do hustlers do? We were like fresh hustlers. So we didn't realize, we were like, no, if you pay money to the broker, फिर बड़ा पैसा लग जाएगा. So we have to search for the house on our own. So the five of us, we go around in that area, knocking at every door and asking that, do you have a room?
Paying guests, because used to have lots of houses with who take paying guests, but we
Right.
were a group of 6, okay, and we didn't want to be separated, so no one was willing to give a house. A room could max hold
For
three
six.
people. Three
Right.
people. So
Right.
the minute every house we used to go, and they used to say, "No, I'm sorry, we can't take 6 people." I used to start crying again.
No, the
So
crime
did
was
that
for a
help
different
though?
reason.
Did that eventually help?
No, then when we finally got a place where I think all our dads and moms were, they were pretty shocked that we were staying in one small room. It could barely
That
hold
yeah.
4 mattresses. That's all it had.
That phase was like height
And
of resilience for all of us.
Nayantara was
Amazing.
crying not because we didn't get it. Nayantara was crying that if we don't get the house, we'll have to stay with relatives, and the friends won't be staying together. And that's the reason she was
He's
crying.
crying. All right. Yeah, it is wonderful to have all of you here and share these stories with not just with us but with the entire world, whoever is watching right now and whoever is going to watch this in future. So thank you very much for coming today and just sharing your stories with us. With that, I'll move on with Nayantara and I'll take Rashi, Aparajita, and Shalini backstage. Okay.
Thank you.
Just one more thing I want to say.
Yeah.
That coming Wednesday, we have Shalini on the morning show. So
Oh
please
wow. Wow.
do
Okay.
tune in
Okay.
to listen to Shalini's story in her words, and we'll
That
play
would be
songs.
awesome. Yes. So to all our listeners and viewers, the morning show is on Bharat FM app on the Cincinnati channel. So please make sure that you tune in next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and listen to Nayantara and the story of Shalini as well. So okay, so Nayantara, moving on. I mean, I'm sure we are going to go beyond 10:30. It's already 10:23. I can see that, and there is a lot that a lot of people need to know from you. So, तो अगला ये है कि the next journey. You said MBA. You met Ritvik over there. And did you get married while you were doing your MBA, or was that?
Yes.
You got married while you were doing your MBA. Okay.
So what happened was the Ritvik needed to travel. He was 1 year senior to me, so he finished
Okay.
his MBA, and that's when we got married. But I had a year to go. So then he was in UK, I think, at that time. He was
I
with
think,
TCS.
I
He
think,
was he was with TCS, so he had to go to UK. He traveled a lot during that time because I was
okay.
studying, so I didn't get to travel. And then I finished my MBA, and then I joined him in Scotland, in UK.
Okay.
And
So right after finishing your MBA, you moved to Scotland.
I didn't move. I took a hiatus. I took about a
Okay.
2 month break because I was also
Okay.
working at that time.
Right.
So I took a break from work. Then we went to Scotland, toured the entire area, had a good few 2 months. Then we
Okay.
came back. Then we
Okay.
came back. I was resumed working, and Ritvik came to the US. That would have been 2000.
That was in 2000. Okay. So when did you come to the US?
So I came 2000, 2 months, 3 months
2 months
later.
later. Okay.
I came.
So you were here in the US and now all of a sudden, no friends, no family, no psychology.
No family, but I have to tell you, Ashish, I have been so lucky, so lucky.
Okay.
As my mom and everyone said that I met Mrinal the very first day I landed here, and
Okay.
she has been my rock throughout. After that first one meeting, that hello that we had, she was just welcoming me to the US. She had come there 2 months earlier, and that's what just clicked between the two of us. And then, of course, when you come here first, you meet a lot of people who are in the same boat. So I think you bond very well. You're all trying to make a life here. You're trying to adjust, new place, new things, new learnings. So I think the bond that one makes when you come here to the US the first year or two, those
It
bonds
stays
still.
you forever. Yeah, that is true. So, career-wise, how did you move from psychology to what you're doing right now?
Okay, so then I did a boot camp course and a few other courses. Um, Varsha is asking a question. I did a few courses here, and that's how I got into this. There's this company called Ascendum. It's based in
Yes,
Cincinnati,
I know.
and it's headed by Mahindra Vora.
Bora. Yeah.
And it is an absolutely fantastic job. I think that company is, it really gives opportunities to folks like us who are educated and have qualifications, but for whatever reason, we had to leave behind our jobs and come here.
Yeah.
So that was a second break for me. And that's how I started off again in IT, in quality control. And that's where I am, QC, QA.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your RJing journey. At what point did it started and how did it start?
What journey? RJ.
Yes.
Oh, after here, that's the most important story, yaar. So when I first came here, they used to, back in the 2000s, I don't think there was a lot of Indian presence. बहुत सारे restaurants नहीं थे,
Correct.
the way it is right now, we had to really struggle. I mean, calls back home were very expensive. We didn't have YouTube. That much access to YouTube, Indian channels. So what we did have was a program called Swaranjali that was that used to run for 3 hours every Sunday. So that was kind of my lifeline. I used to call in or to that. They used to have these quizzes and they used to have prizes. And one of the prizes was a gold necklace or pendant, gold pendant. Okay. So I won a gold pendant. Then I won a few other things. So finally, I think स्वरांजलि वाले लोग सोचे होंगे कि यार इसको तो गिफ्ट देते देते हम लोगों को और कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा पूरा, तो इसको बोलते हैं हम लोगों को ज्वाइन करने. So then I joined their team as a news anchor. So I joined as a.
So did you reach out to them or they reached out to you? And if it was they, who reached out to you?
No, when I was talking to them, like I used to call and I used to give the answer. And then finally we kind of had a relationship, right? They knew I was calling.
Okay.
अरे नैनतारा फिर से ऐसे टाइप का हो गया अब
So
फिर
you initially joined as a news anchor then?
हाँ, so then I
Okay.
joined as a news anchor, and then धीरे-धीरे I think I used to write a script for other people to read. So then after that, Rakesh ji, I think told you that story that I said, "Arey Rakesh ji, I think I can do a good job also. You know, मुझसे सिर्फ write मत करवाइए, मैं बोल भी सकती हूँ अच्छे से." So yeah, so Rakesh ji and I, we first went on the air, and as I said, he said, "Why don't you do it on Nayan?" I said, "Yeah, Nayan पे करते हैं सारे Nayan themed गाने, so Nayan वाले सारे आँखें Nayan." So then we had a good, we had a very good program, and obviously बहुत अच्छा था and all that. So then that continued, and this was in 2002, I believe.
I see.
So so 15 years, and then Sanjana, we were all a team. So that's how Sanjana, me, Rakesh ji, Vinesh, Satyal, I have another friend, Anjali. All of us used to be, on that team, and used to come up with creative ideas. And all of a sudden, wo chhoot gaya. When I moved from Cincinnati.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like you did that for like almost about 17 years. And then there's a point in time where you have to leave all that. How difficult was that?
I was heartbroken. I can't tell you, Mane. Sab kuch, I was leaving my friends behind, and you already know I left clinical psychology just because my friend didn't get into it. So वैसा वाला I am, and वहाँ सारे दोस्तों को छोड़ के मेरे को नॉर्थ कैरोलिना आना पड़ा. But I'm so happy that I found friends here also, and I've made my peace with it, and I am so happy that I got Bharat FM. I got the chance to start RJing again. So Bharat FM is actually more than just a RJ gig for me. It's given me back my passion, my love for connecting with people through music. So it's awesome. I can't say enough about this platform and everything, and
So now tell us a little bit about Ritvik and your kids. How do they help you in achieving your passion, your dream?
they are there. They are there. I mean, bolna kya hai, but yeah, Ritvik has always been supportive. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think I need to say that specifically, because you know what kind of time commitment doing a program, and you see how much time we spend doing that. So it goes without saying that I don't even have to think twice about committing to doing programs, doing stuff, and plus it helps that I make him feel a little guilty that it's because of him that we moved here. So I never let up on that guilt.
बार उसको बोलते रहती है, जताते रहती है. सब तेरी वजह से.
या ज्यादा दिन तक शायद नहीं चलेगा, लेकिन जितना दिन चलता है. And then I have a son who is a freshman in UNC Chapel Hill. It's his first year. Very sad that he is staying and online classes, so he's studying from home. And I have a daughter, and she's in 8th grade.
Okay. So what is it about Bharat FM that you like the most, and where do you see Bharat FM going, and what will be your contribution in that?
I think Bharat FM, the best part about Bharat FM is that it lets you do your thing. Creativity is you can go anywhere with the creativity. Manan Bhai is he gives us a free rein, and you are there to kind of support and give us that push, that final thing that you can do it. You were the one who pushed me to doing that Bong Beats live segment, and you said that you can do it. And I used to tell you that, hey, I'm not that fluent in Bengali because I've been born and brought up outside Kolkata, and there are a lot of people who speak so so well. They're so articulate in Bengali, and I'm not. And you said, it's okay. You just need to get this started, and so that's the kind, and that's the one thing I like about Bharat FM, that we are constantly giving each other a push up or a hand to help each other. I think that is such a wonderful feeling when you are with people who are also happy doing the same thing. I think it makes all of us very happy.
I would agree. Yeah, thank you very much, Nayantara. Yeah, thank you very much. So I promised Ham.
I have one last guest, Sanjana. I want to bring
Yes.
her on. No, we have gone over. I'm so sorry.
So fun. I'm enjoying it.
All right. So now, Sanjana, it's your turn. You have known Nayantara since 2000, I believe.
Even earlier. Even earlier.
Even earlier. Oh, okay. So
Yes.
you knew her before she moved to Cincinnati?
Yeah, because for us we triangulate with Mrunal. Because my first so all these people were from Patni, and I had come to meet them, and that's how all three of us, that was also another part of how we got together. Our friendship started developing, but mostly it started off with Swaranjali only, being as co-RJs and mentally hitting it off pretty much right off the bat. Like we were there, all three of us. I think Anjali, she and I, we became like a Tirkut threesome. I mean, like a wrong analogy, but you get what I'm trying to say. So, to be able to connect so quickly, that is something, it doesn't happen that quickly. And not only that, we were able to even keep it. Distance, being away from each other. Anjali had to leave through Belgium. So we still remained in touch. So she went, she came back. It was friendship as good as nothing had happened. Like, life was back to normal for all three of us back again. And even when, for some, we all had our kids together, pretty much the gap between all our kids. We were in the same boat, like timeline wise, we were all like trailing spouses, all of us with that. And then trailing spouses became mothers, and in between our volunteer effort, like, and all of us had the same common thing, was music, the love for music. So if we sat down together, we would pick each other.
We have spent all-nighters. Three of us have been in the basement listening to music, watching Fawad Khan shows.
We had movies, and as we grew here, technology has been very benevolent to us. So we have not only films but television, Netflix, you name it. And then Indian television and films was not enough for us. We started exploring outside, just not Pakistani. Okay, we were going to Korean shows and all that. So we are all yes,
Turkish shows, you name it.
you
so
name it.
we are cinema creatures.
Yeah.
We just love cinema. We just love songs. There are times when I come up with my theme and Sanjana is giving it another spin, or she comes up with a theme for her program, and I just
has something to.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to shoot off from here and make my own program. So it's like we run off each other, ideas of each other all the time.
I feel like missing the boat, reaching out to Sanjana so late about RJing, because I would have loved it too. You guys know that.
No, it's not too late. It's not too late. We are still there in the same boat now.
Yeah. So Sanjana, tell us a little bit about Nayantara that strikes you the most in the last 20 years that you have, 20 plus years that you have known her.
I'll echo pretty much what I've been hearing about her. I cannot say anything different than what her mother, her sister, her friends, everybody has said. So being a friend and a colleague, both I've worked with her. So pretty much I'll echo the same thing. Like very quick-witted, very, very hazir jawabi. That's what I would say. But the thing is super sensitive also. Like she won't hurt you just like that. what you see is what you get with Nayantara. Like, there is no hidden agenda. Like, it'll come with a punch. Like, if you go, I mean, being a friend, I think she's your really true friend, because she will come at you with all guns blazing. Ki ye kya kiya? Like, you know, even as a friend, I'll be thinking 10 times to tell my good friend, do you do something like that? Don't do. I'll probably go use the softer approach. But with Nayantara, if it's wrong, she'll come at you and she's saying, ye kiya to pata hai kya hoga? Ye karogi, ye pagal ho tum. That's the first thing that will come. So she's super sensitive on about her friends, like, you know, and she's that loyal. She has no qualms telling you that if you're wrong, and that's the friend that you want, a friend who will tell you that this is where, see, everyone will tell that you did a good job, but somebody to tell you, take you by your, I think, by your neck pretty much, and tell you ki ye galat hai. So you need somebody like her in your corner at that time. You need a friend like that, actually. Super creative, super creative. We can piggyback on each other, and mentally, I mean, over the years, working together, being friends, it is a double relationship. There are two layers that are developed over the years. So we pretty much can think what the other person is going to say.
Nice.
And yes, you can guess that much what is coming next now. So it's even scary sometimes that somebody can read you that well, and vice versa. And she'll say, "हमको पता था, तुमको पता चलेगा." And she's her shortcomings also, she'll tell it in a very nicely way. Nice. हमको नहीं करने का है, हमको shortcut करने का है. Like, so there is no filter out there that your friend, you know, will tell you कि मुझे ये काम नहीं करने का है, तुम करो ना. So this is how, I mean, this is how the relationship has developed. So like, and another thing is that if I can't do something, there is no hesitation. She'll step in right away and say, मैं ये पकड़ लेती हूँ. I will do 50% of it. So you take 50%. So if you had to do something 100% and somebody comes and says 50% le lo, so your 50% of your, you know, it's done. So as I said, I would have anybody on my side, somebody like Nayantara, anytime. And film, gaane, मजा आता है. Like, I can't even tell you about our all-nighters. It's almost enviable, and with technology, अभी तो वो भी नहीं लगता है that we are that far away. That's all.
And have you heard her sing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then, if you have heard her sing, then we would like to request Nayantara to sing a song.
Okay, you know how much I've been talking, so I'm going to sing, but it's going to be really bad, okay?
Doesn't matter. Sing a song. Your most favorite one.
Okay, I'm going to sing a song that we actually sung for our choir in college and won. So this is the Hindi version of a very, very famous song. I'm not even going to tell you which song it is. It is that famous. But I want to sing it because it is so relevant even today. And before I sing it, I want to say thank you so much to see my mom and my sister. They didn't have a choice; they had to come. But Radhika, Shalini, Rashi, Sanjana, you guys made time and came. That is so nice. And all the comments that people have posted, thank you so much. I'm reading them and I'm loving it. I mean, Arundhati, Varsha, Bitan, Runal, Swagata, and so many others. Thank you so much. You really, really boosted my. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. So I'm going to end with this song. सुनी राहों पर कोई कब तक चले, इससे पहले कि इंसान वो कहलाए, और कब तक आखिर कोई फाख्ता उड़े, इससे पहले कि वो चैन पाए, और कितने युगों तक कोई इंसान जिए, इससे पहले कि अमन आने पाए, हवा में यारों जवाब मिलेगा, फिजाओं में जवाब मिलेगा, हवाओं में यारों जवाब मिलेगा, फिजाओं में जवाब मिलेगा, हवाओं में यारों जवाब मिलेगा, फिजाओं में जवाब मिलेगा.
That was awesome. So now that you have sung a song, why are you not part of Bharat FM's Mule Singers?
So, मेरे सारे दोस्त अभी मेरे को पहचान गए हैं. So they tell me कि उसको छोड़ो, उसको बोलो मत गाने. वो खुद गुनगुनाने लगेगी थोड़ी देर के बाद. उसको सिर्फ बोलो मत गाने. They know me. So yeah, I have to still get that. I'm really bad. Stage fright है बहुत. A lot of things. So yeah.
Are you telling me after 1 hour and 15 minutes that you have stage fright, and you want me to believe that?
I mean, I can't sing alone. I love to make people sing with me and.
So Bharat FM's Mule Singers, every song is a duet. Sanjana knows that. You also know that.
Yeah. Okay.
So anything else before we end our show, Nayantara? Anything that you would like to mention before we end it?
Thank you to Bharat FM and thank you to all the Bharat FM RJs and especially okay, Varsha is saying group song karenge iske baad, sure, Varsha. And before I end, I think Varsha was asking me to do some takya kalams for all the RJs. So I just want to end with that. You have to guess who they are. One is, so of course, aapka dost aur aapka host, RJ
Ashish.
Okay, and then is of course, मैं थोड़ी सी चुलबुली हूँ, थोड़ी सी मंचली हूँ, हमेशा whatever she says, you know, that's बातें कुछ.
Okay, Varsha.
Okay, and then there's another person that is. अभी करो तुम लोग सब यंग जनरेशन वालों, तुम लोगों का दिल है, तुम लोग करो ये सब मजे, अभी हम लोग तो सिर्फ बैठ के सुनने वाले हैं.
Rakesh ji, I'm hoping that you are tuned in.
I hope you're tuned in, Rakesh ji. This is just fun. And then Sanjana. Well, you know which song is coming up now? Well, I have to tell you, well, this is not. That is Sanjana.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm thinking. I thought I had someone else pinned down too.
कोई नहीं, वो उसका हम अलग से कर लेंगे. We will hear about that the next time. So yes. Thank you very much once again, Nayantara, and thank you, Sanjana, for joining us today. So just to let our viewers and our listeners know that we have started this new session. We are still calling it Rubaru, but this is one way by which you can know the Bharat FM team in general, in detail, like you can know their story. So we already saw that how hit our session was today with Nayantara. A lot of people are still tuned in, they are still listening, and they enjoyed this Rubaru. And we will have every Wednesday 9:30 p.m. At least that's the plan right now. If not every Wednesday, one of the Wednesdays you will definitely have one of the RJs from our team, from the Bharat FM team, to come here and tell their story. And we are sure that you will enjoy our sessions. So please keep listening to Bharat FM, keep tuned in, help us move in the right direction with your feedback and with your comments. And with that, आपका दोस्त और आपका होस्ट आरजे आशीष आपसे इजाजत लेना चाहता है. शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद. Thank you, Nayantara.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, welcome and adab. You are listening to Bharat FM, a one-of-its-kind, multilingual, eclectic provider of entertainment, information and news to Indian Americans. Headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, Bharat FM airs shows out of Cincinnati, Chicago and Phoenix. We take pleasure in our ability to cater to your bhakti, chusti, sphurti, shakti, and masti needs with our audio and visual shows. Check out bharatfm.com for our online program schedule and archives. I'm sure the content will definitely tickle your senses. Tune in via the 24-hour web streaming on bharatfm.com or via the Bharat FM app. More information can be procured at 513-488-5070.
This is Bharat FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.
ये है भारत FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.